Welcome back, everybody, to Running the Riffs coverage of the Collegiate League of Legends Championship here in 2024. Yanni and TDS still giving you all the action of a series that has gone with a little bit of a twist all of a sudden because it was St. Clair up 2-0 and Winthrop are able to battle back to force game for TDS. We had questions if the team actually had it in them, right?
Yep.
We had known that it's been a rough year and maybe their mental was a little too battered, but they buckle down in game 3 and get the job done and have given themselves a new lease on life.
Exactly. The important part here is that they were able to turn around a difficult situation being 0-2 down and then play a composition that I feel like fits them better as a team, but also it's easier to execute as a team. Like
Yeah.
they don't need to pull off fancy stuff to be able to pull off that comp. Just go in, you have the what is it called? The Powerball comp, and then just go forward and try and win with mobility being on hyper carry. Now the ball is kind of a little bit on St. Clair's side because they cannot allow this reset in mindset to turn into a reverse sweep, right? Because that's always the thing that happens. One game at a time, it becomes scarier the more you allow for them to recover their mental. And now the mental that is affected is yours. So they need to put a stop here and just end the series as best as they can here.
Yeah, and what do you think that St. Clair has to do going into this game, right? Going into this pick and ban phase to try and make sure that what Winthrop did in game 3 does not happen again?
I would feel like Jinx being one of the carries for mobility and for Rockboom should be a much more bigger focus. They've been banning quite a bit the Kalista and the Paris, so taking away the Jinx wouldn't be a bad choice here either. I think the Renekton was completely strong for Denethor, don't get me wrong, but I do think that a lot of this falls on that early first blood that Denethor gets for free. He gives his teleport, then they go for a dive, he doesn't die, and then they get another kill on Riki, and it's just Renekton being so much of a strong champion because of the early happenings of the game. If they are able to prevent this from happening and then play around that, I can see this being a much better team for Saint Clair, and they can leave open the Renekton if that's the case.
Yeah, and one thing that you mentioned, obviously maybe taking away the Jinx, I feel like Winthrop may be forced to ban it because St. Clair is going to be on the blue side, and Winthrop has traditionally had a lot of problems trying to play against Jinx. That is
Yeah.
one of their big Achilles heels, and they've almost been forced to ban it a lot, so that kind of leaves the available champions that they would want to ban a little bit smaller. Obviously, you're only really going to get two other bans at that point, and we'll see if St.
Yep.
Clair goes for it because it's not really a combination that's been played a whole lot of on the side of St. Clair. They haven't really played it a whole lot. They played a Jinx Melio game, but that's really about it.
Yep, that's that's kind of it actually. Yeah. So hopefully they can find a way to play around it, or if they just want to ban it away. But if I'm not wrong, they are changing sides once again for this game. It's going to be St. Clair coming in for the blue. So now we have to see if there's going to be a left open ban from the previous games. Because one thing that Winthrop has been banning quite frequently is the Ash. They
Mhm.
think that the Ash is going to be a big priority for Miracle and for Rockboom, and they are thinking that maybe we just have to ban away that Ash consistently. But now, if you add the Jinx blue side potential for the side of St. Clair to also that mix, then there's going to be an extra fear that you have to maybe leave that Ash ban open, or you have to leave something like the Varus or Kalista open, which is not great either when you consider that it's Rockboom playing on the other side.
Absolutely not, CDS. And we're gonna kind of wait for draft for 1 second here and give you a bit of a bracket update here. As wow, I mean, when they were up 2-0, it was maybe going to be expected that they would win the series, but
Yep.
in such convincing fashion, they've gone back to Ole Miss. They were new Miss for so long, and they could not get the job done here in the top 8. So they are in the lower bracket. That is, listen, they've got one life left. This is a team with incredibly high expectations, looking to get past the round of 8 this year. Disappointing here in the top 8.
Exactly. At this point, not the best showing for Ole Miss so far, but that's what the lower bracket is for, to try and
Mhm.
shake off those bad things that happen in the normal bracket and then try and turn around the situation. And one of these teams is going to join them soon enough, as well as joining the upper bracket teams, depending on who wins. But for now, Game 3 going to start real soon with the draft already happening. And bans, I think the Rumble coming here, but I am expecting to see pretty similar bans from St. Clair.
Again, that's a team looking to shake off the bad vibes just a little bit, right? That last game probably leaving a bit of a bitter taste in their mouths.
Yep.
So we'll see. And so far, I mean, like I think the bans for them have been pretty okay, right? I think that maybe Renekton is the only adaptation you really have to make, as you mentioned earlier. And other than that, kind of let it rock. But I mean, the thing is, Rumble is just so good into the champions that Ricky likes to play. And
Yeah.
Denethor, it hasn't really been one of his ace champions or anything like that. And it's not something they've put in the bot lane very much. So St. Clair, just a preemptive ban of that, it's been taking a toll on them a little bit. And if Denethor goes wild here in game 4 and all of a sudden it's a game 5 match, St. Clair may be thinking otherwise. But, we're still at least in the draft for game 4. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Exactly, and with the Kalista coming through, the Jinx as well now for St. Clair, this does mean that Varus looks like a potential ban to come through here to take away from Rockboom as well. And this could be actually a St. Clair, I would be surprised, but it could be a St. Clair just pick away the Renekton yourselves if you think about it here. Could
It's
be
a
an angle for
blindable
this.
top laner. Like,
Yep,
there's no reason that you wouldn't be able to do that. I feel like it'll be a sort of a bot lane flavor champion. Maybe we'll
true.
see a Kaisa
Oh,
come through, or the Skarner that was allowed through by Winthrop. They have no fear of Maddie very clearly.
exactly. They knew that they had to ban away something, and the Varus, the Kalista, and the Ashe were much more appealing to ban away. At it's going to be the Maddie Skarner that worked out really well. Could still be a Riki Skarner technically, but I'm expecting to see that more on Maddie. And on the other side, they take away Miracle's Nautilus, worked out in the second game with the Varus. They could potentially go for the Nautilus plus Johnny's fine here, and then pair it up with something like the Kaiser, the Tristana. Once again, champions that work really well with the Nautilus.
Yep, once again, we're going to full tank town on the side of Winthrop University. No Tom Kench, that is something to note. We're also going to see Rel get picked up here. So St. Clair really like their ability to sort of also engage, right? Obviously,
Yep.
Winthrop, quite a bit of engage on their side. St. Clair said, listen, we're not going to back down. We're just going to get in absolute fist fights with you.
Ooh. Saya for Rockboom here. Not
Good pick.
necessarily a bad choice, don't get me wrong, but I was expecting to see the Kaisa coming through. It was a game that maybe could potentially work out with so much CC already on their side. They have ways to block the passive and then try and play around with this. Okay, Denethor trying to confirm the Camille before it gets banned away. It happened in the previous game. This time around, they are going to secure it for themselves. And for the side of Winthrop, having that Camille, Denethor Camille can be really, really scary because he is really good at the champion.
It was his one trick, not his first one trick. He actually was a top lane Vayne main for quite some time. Played Camille, went 2-9 on it in a normal game and said, oh my god, this
Yep.
champion's awesome. And became the one trick that we all grew to know and love very early on. Has broadened his horizons, but will always go back to his champion when he needs a win.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair attempt here, especially now because they can ban away some champions for Ricky LaFleur, taking
Yeah.
away the Renekton, taking away the Jax as well, leaving open other choices. But I think that this is the right plan to go for, as it's going to be bot lane focus with the Aphelios. I'm thinking maybe the Seri ban could come through as well here. Seri, a great hyper carry and not a bad choice for mobility, especially with how they were playing, but it's still going to be the Galio. Not a bad choice, don't get me wrong, especially with the Camille already up. And Sword is a player that is willing to bring out the value in this sort of situations. But leaving open mobility's potential Seri can be scary as well.
Yeah, they love to play like a
Oh,
Zeri Nautilus combination, but we're going to see Mobility be the one to pull out the Kaisa. I love this. We're going to try to win the game on one of
yep.
Rockboom's best champions and add a little bit of insult to injury to try to get the job done. But it is a pick that is somewhat exposable. We're going to see Darius coming for Ricky LaFleur. Again, the ultimate feast or famine we're going to see up in the top lane. Two guys on some of their best champions slugging it out. I couldn't be more excited. Can't wait for the draft to be over, TDS.
Ooh.
Never
And it's
mind.
going to be
I
a
can
good one
wait.
for Corky. Yeah, true. And now it's on Swords. Swords counterpick here. Can go for this here. I wouldn't see it as a bad option. Talia also not necessarily a bad choice when you consider there's a couple of dashes to go forward. But I love this. Okay, I'm already inclined for Winthrop win. I don't care. I'm an Aurelian Soul fan. I love this champion so much. And I honestly so excited to see Sword playing it here. There's a lot of magic. There's a good amount of damage coming in from the side of Winthrop. Not a lot of magical damage, not a lot of physical damage. Good mix around. You have tanks to try and force a fight, and then you have great scaling thanks to this Aurelion Soul. So overall, I'm excited to see how this game goes. But the point of focus that I want to go for, it's a top lane because this is a volatile lane. both champions can go really fist or famine depending on how it goes, and whoever gets on the back foot may just end up suffering quite heavily in the whole game.
Yeah, I wonder which top laner is going to go up there first. I think that Wakao may be more inclined to say, you know what, Denethor, we trust you. We're going to let
Yeah,
you just try and win the 1v1. Will Maddie let it be a 1v1? Will they elect to go elsewhere, right? Because there's
yeah.
intense scaling in the mid lanes, and being able to set either of those champions behind is going to be pretty massive. I think Sword can help Wakao gank him more than Bakery Boy can help Maddie gank him.
I agree. It's more so on what sort of Wakao can achieve in that mid lane that what I would think Bakery Boy and Medi want to do, because these champions are slippery, and also you don't have gank setup until level 6 pretty much
Yeah.
with Maddie, not considering ultimate but also considering the wall. Also, the dragon can fly away, so it's difficult to pin him down when you don't have multiple instances of CC. I think that it's game to play others lanes and try and get an advantage elsewhere. That being said, Miracle can move around really easily from bot lane as well because Rockbloom is playing Saya. You can just farm safely. At level 6, you have a get away from jail free card. So it's not like you're going to suffer as much if you're left alone. It's mainly what you can accomplish if you send other champions elsewhere.
Yeah. Remember last game, Winthrop was very aware when Miracle went to go take some roams because of the superior warding they had on the
Yeah.
bottom side of the map. I think if Winthrop can execute that once again, make this Rel's impact minimal in the early game, they will find themselves in a good spot. St. Clair, though, their composition, Rockboom, a bit of a more in-your-face AD carry compared to the last game. We'll see if he's able to get an early lead. We are on Summoner's Rift for Game 4 of this best-of-5 series. St. Clair still on match point.
And it's looking like a potential level 1 dissuade of Invade because they are stacking here 5 men, maybe thinking that someone was going to walk in. Nobody's going to walk in, so it's not going to work out like that, but I like the idea. I like that they are trying to play around that very well.
And Winthrop going with their typical line of scrimmage.
And a frog.
And I think it's big to ensure that no mistakes are made early on, right? You do not want to find yourself down a kill early or anything like that. It could be absolute disaster from there. Again, you need to play perfectly. They did last game, very few mistakes, if any. They gotta make it happen again.
They have to make it happen again, but they have the tools to make it happen. This is a pretty similar composition to what they have in the previous game, and I'm happy that Winthrop decided to take that step back and try and play something more consistent akin to what they like to play. Now, really nice ward to try and catch Maddie when he's pathing topwards, and there's no vision inside of the enemy jungle for St. Clair, so that means that Winthrop will have a bit of a free time to try and just play around with Lockout.
I love Ricky defending that blue buff, making sure, yep, nobody's around here, everything's all good, things are safe. They're gonna clear bottom to top, so they're starting on the strong sides, but guess what, TDS, the strong sides may actually just be the top lane in this game as opposed to the bottom lane.
Yep. Could potentially be already a little bit of a fighting down here in the bot lane and mid lane as well. They really want to go in, but you don't want to fight that heavily against an Aurelion Soul level 1 with that Dragon's Breath just putting itself all over your face.
Yep, Dragon's Breath is super effective. It might even paralyze Bakery Boy. This might be the wrong game. I'm not quite sure. I've been playing a lot of that new roguelike that everybody's been enjoying, so my mind may be elsewhere. Ricky,
Ouch.
just trying to get in Denethor's face, not afraid of this Titan on command.
Yeah, not afraid of the Titan, but taking a big chunk of damage up there, although Denethor is taking much more. This is a complete contrast, a big stark difference comparing the previous game, right? Because Ricky was the one suffering this trades early on, and now he's the one making the Camille suffer as much as he can. But Oka's passing topside. They also know that Matthew is potentially going up there, and we may get a slight fight up there already before 3 minutes.
And I think that would favor St. Clair. You can see Maddie taking an aggressive path, but he's going to run right into a cow. It looks like they're going to try to make the dive happen. They're going to try to turn this around onto a cow. Ghost, Flash, First Blood, Ricky LaFleur.
Yeah, maybe the dive is not the choice. Maybe it's just killing Wakao, and I've seen this story in the second game of the series, where Wakao was getting collapsed on really heavily. This time around, First Blood for Ricky. He blows both summoners, but it's a kill. A First Blood for the Darius, and this could incline the balance from the top lane.
And that's really good because the more you can keep Ricky ahead in this lane, and not having as many problems with Denethor, the harder it makes for
Yep.
Denethor to cause problems across the map later. You know he's going to get his on this champion. It's just a matter of minimizing it and making sure that your team is the one that's ahead.
Exactly. Minimize the differences as much as possible and just get the advantages where you really want to. And also with this, they do take away the red buff, if I'm not wrong, from Wokao. Or actually, I think he wasn't able to collect it before dying, so not going to lose his buff. But now maybe Maddie going to be attacked inside of his jungle with Wokao so close by.
You see, the suppression is going to go down. Maddie going to, listen, it's just a tank fight. Stun coming out. Denethor coming through. He's the first of the fight. He's trying to get close to Ricky. Apprehend is there. Maddie, no flash left over. Good summoner burn.
Able to escape. Able to run away there. Wokao is staying on the side, clearing the ward. They are not going to be able to spot actually able to stop Maddie from backing there. Really nice, and he actually takes 2 wards, so that's going to be a little bit of extra value for Wokao. They don't get the kill, but it's important that they are getting some sort of value elsewhere. Oh,
hooked down on a Miracle, couldn't get the last proc off, so he'll be able to get out with relative ease. A slight CS lead for the bottom lane here for Rock Boom. That's okay. Everything is good for St. Clair. They're up 1,000 gold right now.
exactly. They have the gold in the right places, and the most important part is that Winthrop haven't been able to find a card to play back on them. They were close to getting the kill onto Maddie, but Maddie able to flash away, nothing to worry about there. And then even though they didn't blow any flashes, oh,
another hook going down on the Miracle. Just a little bit more chip damage as Winthrop is trying to turn this bottom lane around. Rockboom has been in their face for far too long.
I was expecting maybe a little bit more aggression there, but it's not going to be the case. They are going to be completely flying down there, and it's just farming for farming. I'm expecting to see the supports moving out of bot lane real soon.
We'll see, man. It's just been a dogfight down here, and, I don't really know who's winning it. It feels like Winthrop is getting more damage down here, so Miracle moving would actually make more sense, as you said, but, maybe they're close to actually getting a kill. They bait in Chuki's here with a big wave as well. He's taking quite a bit of damage, but again, more trades back on the Miracle. They're just feeling each other out. These guys do not like each other.
Yeah, but with the control they have, Maddie already started the dragon, actually going to be really close to being able to get it. Sejuani is over on the top side, and also the Aurelion was getting pushed, so there's barely any way to contest this dragon. Even if there's no kill happening in bot lane, it's at the very least an early dragon for the side of St. Clair. And also, Wokao didn't go for the grub, so that means that there's no advantage that they were able to get up there.
As you mentioned about that dragon, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming for St. Clair's. We see a hook in the bottom lane as a flash was forced out of Miracle, who's very low in the bottom lane.
Bakery Boy may get collapsed here.
Yeah, Sword is here, Denethor is here, and Bakery Boy can't leave the Hextech Ultimatum and the Falling Star. Sword able to get the kill. Re-engage on the Maddie. They're going to be able to proc all their passives. Miracle is low. Miracle falls. It's 2 kills in the bottom lane for Winthrop.
Yeah, and really weird sequence of events there for St. Clair. Now there's even a dive attempt here, and Rockboom has to be extra careful. Ooh, the 10 there.
Did not land, but the proper member tanking it up, and Winthrop wiped the bottom lane.
Yeah, surprised that there was no flash attempt there coming in for Rockboom, and at the end it's just an easy advantage for Winthrop. St. Clair, questionable decision making in multiple places there. Both in the bot lane fighting and then in the mid lane. Bakery Boy had to flash away. There was no chance to escape there unless you flash. But disrespecting everything that the side of Winthrop was able to do, and now there's not even a chance to stop Sword. The advantage in favor of Winthrop, and the game already looking so much better for them.
Spot mobility, 2 kills. You spot Sword a kill. Denethor, as we mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter how bad the lane goes. He went to the mid lane. He got an advantage. Ricky hasn't been able to do the same. They're going to need him, right? He's 1-0. He's got a big CS lead. They're going to need him in these fights. And because there's nothing around the grubs, even though St. Clair secures it, Winthrop doesn't give away any other gold.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they find here some gold there at the very least. Something to try and play around with and something to try and answer back as it's not impossible to surmount this, obviously. It's not like it's necessarily a huge difference. Oh, fighting again.
Miracle, here's the knockup onto Rock Boom. Rock Boom not going to use his ultimate, holding it in his back pocket. Chuki's taking a lot of damage. Rooted up, stunned up, taken down.
There.
Miracle the next target. Magnet Storm down, but they're going to be able to burst him out. Mobility down to half. Rock Boom's got to drop his ultimate, and Mobility manages to find a way to get away. Rock Boom pushing forward, dealing more damage to Watao. Mid lane, it's a kill for Sword, but Maddie comes through. Sword trying to float away, and he will go down the rock, taking him out.
The Rock gets up, taking the kill down there, or in the mid lane, but Bakery Boy does end up dying once again. The Aurelion Soul is working marvelously, but then in the bot lane, crucially, Rock Boom is doing marvels as well. Getting the counter kill in a 3v2, almost able to get another one. He doesn't even blow the flash. So everything for the bot lane of the side of St. Clair at the very least is working out as well. And I think we're going to finally get to see a series, or a game in the series, where it's going to be Rock Boom against Mobility for the actual head-to-head fight here.
Absolute supremacy and mobility right now with the Kraken Slayer, Sword with the Rylai's. Two big spikes for both of these champions. If there's a time for Winthrop to turn on the Jets, TDS, it's going to be in this next 5 to 10 minute window.
Exactly. It's the first 10 minutes of the game and it's already chaotic as is, with a lot of action happening and a lot of kills. I'm glad that this has been the motive of the series, because every game has had quite a bit of action early on.
They really have. I mean, it was a little slow, I believe, in the first game, and then St. Clair just took it from there. But in this game, it's been crazy. Take a look at the gold. A lot of deaths in everybody's ledger. And the real big surprise has to be Ricky with a huge lead. And he's been able to take it to Denethor. Watao is in the area. They want to go try and make a play. Waiting for Denethor's cooldowns to come back up. Ricky does have both summoners, good sidestep, pops the ghost, is going to turn on to Denethor here. Denethor trying to stay away, getting all of his damage in. And Ricky very low, but Maddie flying in. Ricky flashes away, but he will fall. Now it's a 2v1. Denethor has Hextech Ultimatum if he wants to drop it. They're just looking for the proc onto Maddie to stun him up. Sword's on the way too. Denethor plenty of shielding. They CC, lock him to death, and the Scorpion falls.
And I really think that they are not respecting the side of Winthrop now. St. Clair are taking these fights, which is fine, but you have to be respectful as well of the potential from Winthrop. Like, Winthrop are not idiots. They know how to play this. They know what to do in certain situations, and they are not getting the respect they deserve in how they are attempting to go for this. Really good turnaround from Winthrop, and it's looking much closer to a potential. Oh, Miracle.
Miracle very low. Teleport forced out here from Bakery Boy. He does have the package. He's looking to maybe make a play. Hook goes down. He still has that package in the back pocket if he wants to get some more damage in. Trying to chase down Chookies, but with this dragon up, he'll keep it in the back pocket.
Exactly. Dragon is up. They do have a little bit of pressure to pull up there. Oh, Bakery Boy.
Hook goes down on the Bakery Boy. Sword in the area. Maddie forced away. Package used defensively. Massive for Winthrop as Denethor is now here to join the party. Looking to go onto Maddie. Maddie stunned up. Maddie hook suppresses too. Rock Boom in the area, but this is going to be really hard. Falling Star goes down. Maddie falls, and Winthrop are turning on the Jets, TDS.
And this is looking like a Game 5 angle, Jenny. It's not looking good for St. Clair, and their crisp gameplay from the first two games is just completely disappearing and not being the same. They are not respecting Winthrop in a lot of these situations, not respecting the teleport, not respecting the damage, and Winthrop is just pretty much calling on their bluffs and calling on their disrespect and saying, you should respect us. We're still considered a better team than you.
2,500 gold lead early here for Winthrop. Ricky had a lot of alone time on those turrets up top. Rock Boom and Miracle very healthy to the half HP of multiple members, and they're going to make the engage happen. Chookies flashes away. Miracle goes down, and they will be able to at least get one kill. Rock Boom looking for a second, but he's going to fall. It's a double kill for Mobility.
Exactly, it's a double kill for Mobility, and this game is just now getting way too out of control. It's only 3k gold lead, but so many kills, so much control of the map in favor of Winthrop. They may lose the grubs here. Like, realistically, do you care about losing the grubs? I don't think so, if you're Winthrop.
Well, Ricky LaFleur is going to have a large impact in this game based off of having those grubs. Bakery Boy, if you give him time to split push, those auto attacks will start dealing a lot of damage. It's just a matter, can Winthrop use this 3,000 gold lead that they've accrued, and can they just make it a non-factor?
And now they're just waiting on the side. Maybe they want to kill Maddie here. Wokow waiting so long, and yep, they're trying to maybe collapse into this corner.
Maddie stunned, Sword in the area, but I think they're just gonna make sure that Denethor can get the turret. No, Sword looking for more. He's just channeling real close. Double suppression out. Bakery Boy from the side. Sword's gonna go down. Watau is gonna fall next, and it's disaster for Winthrop on the top side, but they do get one back on the bottom.
Disaster top side, at the very least the victory bot side, and they also get the first turret blood, so not the end of the world in that situation. I'm not sure what the decision making was there by Wokow and Sword though, because there was always a chance that someone was going to collapse there and follow up on the play-in. That's exactly what the side of St. Clair does. They get a shutdown, which is really important for them. It's not the biggest difference maker, but it's a shutdown nonetheless.
Winthrop known to play over aggressive at times. Bakery Boy trying to flash out. Denethor dealing so much damage. Bakery Boy's got no mana left. Denethor gets the kill, flashes out, lives with a sliver. Not even close, baby.
Pain there for Bakery Boy. He barely had any mana, so I'm pretty sure that he probably was waiting to try and get something back and maybe win it with that.
Oh, they didn't know that Maddie was here. Chookies is in so much trouble, trying to get back to Mobility. Mobility trying to get a bunch of autos down, chunking out Maddie, dashing to Maddie, takes him out. Watau trying to come through next. Miracle a little low, but Winthrop will stop the offensive.
Yeah, able to stop it there. It's support for jungle, but Wokow maybe wants a little bit more. There is ultimate on Rock Boom though.
From the side, looking to just tag Rock Boom up a little bit here, and nothing more.
Yeah, not going to be much more than that. There is still ultimate on Rock Boom, so I'm surprised they were willing to try and go for it. But it's a scary situation to be in if you're on the side of St. Clair. They are still losing really big advantages, and Denethor now is becoming a member that you're unable to stop just yet. The first kill, it's not turning like we were expecting, because now Denethor is currently 4-0 and Ricky's only 1-1.
Maybe it would have been wise to try to dive Denethor, although I don't necessarily think the play would have been there. And we knew Denethor was going to get his. We've talked about it over and over again on this champion, and he has made impact outside of the lane, and that's why he's such a great player. Sky's Descent available for Sword for this next fight. St. Clair need to watch out.
Yeah, it could be for the next dragon. There is one apiece, so I'm not sure if St. Clair wants to try and force a fight here. They are still really far behind in terms of items for some of the crucial members. I would say particularly for Bakery Boy, you want to have the second item before you even force a fight. And then you look at Mobility. He has have an item more than Rock Boom. So you probably are not going to try and force a fight when you think about that being the case.
Denethor taking out that bottom turret. Rift Herald is up on the top side. It looks like Winthrop is going to make their way over. Denethor's teleport is now available as he shifts to the mid lane. And St. Clair don't really have a good answer.
Yeah, there's no real good answer here. And Ricky, this is the issue with playing the Darius, right? It's not bringing out the teleport. And with no teleport, you cannot force these fights in your favor as effectively. You have to always have the Darius in your back pocket, but when you have something like the Camille that can split push really effectively compared to the previous game or the second game where it was the incentive and the side lane pressure wasn't as big, then it's really easy to just decide, okay, we send Denethor's side lane, he can teleport in if there's a fight, and then we win the 4v5 because we do have teleport.
Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane here. No wave left for the side of Winthrop University. Wokow will pilot this one, get a nice chunk of damage in, but nothing more.
And now Dragon is up. Could be a potential fight here. There wasn't an objective advantage given to Winthrop because they don't get the mid lane turret, but they do have a bit of control over the river. Now they don't.
Yeah, St. Clair, a bit better initial pushing power package available for Bakery Boy. Going to be something to watch out for in this fight as Ricky has started the Dragon.
And importantly, they are trying to just push them off on the side. They are waiting with a package from Bakery Boy, maybe trying to thread Mobility. I'm not sure if there's enough damage to be able to burst the AD carry, but they are looking so aggressively there.
Oh, Bakery Boy looking to make a big play. Perfect. Huge engagement, shut down on Mobility, falling star is there. Denethor is here, double apprehend. Denethor suppressed, pulled into the rest of the team, trying to go out and kite back to the rest of the squad, but down they go. Winthrop is falling apart, but Rock Boom falls. Wokow, the last one to flash away after a Ricky LaFleur triple kill. The hero St. Clair needed.
The hero is the one that gets the 3 kills. I would argue that the hero is Bakery Boy. That was a beautiful package placement. He pushes Mobility back onto the engage from St. Clair. That was perfectly done. I don't think you could ask for anything better than that apart from maybe Rock Boom not flashing in to try and kill Denethor. But apart from that, everything from St. Clair, is beautiful. And Bakery Boy, with a really rough early game, turns around this fight all by himself.
I didn't know the bakery had hot tamales because they just DoorDashed some right into the face of Winthrop. It's so much damage, as you said. Really big play. Big setup by St. Clair as well. Miracle was able to get in there and just Mobility never stood a chance.
He never did, and that was a big shutdown that also went to Ricky. He completed a second item off of that shutdown, plus an extra bit of armor just in case, because why not? That is how much they were able to get after that fight. They equaled the gold tally, but it's still a bit ahead for Winthrop, but the difference is negligible when you think about it. And then for the important members, they are gaining the gold back. I want to see what the Corki is able to get here.
Corki getting very close to finishing their tier item. Gonna get real strong real soon. Winthrop, their mid-game woes have once again reared their ugly head in this series. It feels like a repeat of game one, TDS.
It really feels like that, and now the game being turned around like this, you do have Rockboom on a scaling champion, you have Corki on a scaling champion, and Ricky being a good transition champion for that late game. There is a good chance for St. Clair here now with that turnaround. The game is still not lost though for Winthrop. They still have mobility with 2 items, really strong. The Aurelion Soul is slowly but surely becoming a factor, and then Denethor, if he wants to, he can go for the side lane push. He has some of the grubs to be able to push on the side, and he also is really strong. So there's a good chance for him to try and take down the side lane if he's left untouched.
Without a doubt, but Ricky is probably just a little bit stronger. I mean, Trinity Force to Sterix compared to Trinity Force to Ravenous. Sterix Gage going to do a lot, but they're going to try to make the side lane play onto Ricky. Teleport coming down from Sword as well. And Ricky LaFleur might just be cooked. He's healing a lot, but he's burning away. It's a 700 gold shutdown to Denethor.
It's so scary how close that could have been turned around by Ricky, but perfect play, and yes, he may be scary, but not scary enough to go against 3 members. Great teleport there by Sword, really nice collapse there by Wokow to follow up, really good kill that they are able to get, and Baker Boy not able to reach on time, but he didn't use teleport. So for St. Clair, at the very least, that's a good victory to have in your favor. Ricky doesn't have teleport though. This could be a Baron attempt.
Could be if they want to go for it. It looks like they're lining up for it. Maddie and Bakery Boy on the bottom side clearing out the red. They've got plenty of damage for this. Sword isn't quite there yet. Ping's going down. Miracle in the area, so is Rockboom. Baron down to 6,000 HP. Rockboom trying to get some autos onto Chookies. Baron down to 2,000 HP. Miracle in the middle.
Oh, wait,
and stolen away by St. Clair. Chookies on the front line in trouble. Falling Star gonna land. Miracle gonna fall. Bakery Boy's alive. Rockboom's alive. But guess who's not alive? Maddie is gonna fall. It's a double kill for Mobility, but the Baron for St. Clair. The Genji Baron buff is theirs.
Yeah, who cares if Maddie dies? That is already the biggest victory. Huge engage into follow-up.
Rockboom is all in front. Ricky from the top rope with a dunk.
Ricky may be getting the kill, but Rockboom just sidesteps everything. He gets the value there because they end up falling prey to Rockboom's bait, and just like that, kill, turret, Baron buff, St. Clair completely back in control of the game.
St. Clair, they may be down in kills, but the momentum of the gold lead is all theirs. They're looking to do what they could not in Game 3. They are looking to take this one for a victory. Bakery Boy is still scaling up. Ricky LaFleur has been the surprise of this series, especially this game, has been one of the key reasons this game has been so close, TDS. All the credit in the world goes to him.
Exactly, he has been doing so well. And with this, now saving the potential game win for St. Clair. Obviously, it's not yet done. Still, Winthrop has a chance. They still have a great champion. I am a huge ASOL lover and believer, and I know that he's able to turn around this game spot. For St. Clair, they clearly needed this sort of situation in their favor to try and win out this game, or at the very least, put themselves in a winning spot.
As we mentioned, and as you mentioned, the ASOL scaling is still around. Denethor, obviously, on his Camille will get stronger. Yeah. But we haven't talked about Mobility. He's 8-1-4. He's got to carry Winthrop over the finish line, you'd think.
He has to. This has to be his chance. This has to be his game. Yes, Denethor is 6-1, but the big AD carry, or the big game here, is for Mobility with 8-1. He has to be the one to put them over the finish line for this game and try and set up for a game victory. Dragon control though going in favor of Sinclair once again. Everyone here, Denethor not quick enough to push on the side lane. I think they are going to trade this.
It is sole point for St. Clair if they pick this one up, so that is certainly something to be aware of. We're going to see Winthrop rotate all over to the top side here, and the Dragon will go to St. Clair.
They get the Dragon for free. They were willing to go for this in the side of Winthrop because Denethor can take down the turret really quick. And this is the side lane pressure, the value of the teleport, and what they are able to do if you give Denethor the space. Now, oh wait, what is happening here?
They're going to hit the go button on Chookies. He's going to fall. So is this turret. Couple low health bars if they want to do something. Look at the teleport from behind from Denethor. He's ready to make a play. Ricky LaFleur is not with the rest of the team. Denethor sees 4. He's going to make his mark.
Oh, look at
Here comes the ultimate from Sword to do a lot of damage. Ricky in the area. Maddie stunned up. Maddie goes down next. Rockboom half HP. He's going to get engaged on. He's going to drop the ultimate. He stays alive. Mobility onto the back line. Gets the kill. Bakery Boy is stuck. Bakery Boy will fall. The fight that Mobility needed to have. He comes up huge. Ricky gets a consolation prize, but Mobility's the guy.
Yeah, Mobility finding the team fight that we wanted for him, and a lot of things coming in through from Winthrop there. Multiple ultimates used to try and kill Chookies. And it's not a bad choice, but then when you're running away, you have to be ready for this. And they find the perfect angle. Denethor with a great flash as well on top of Rockboom before he even reacts to the play. Not able to use ultimate, ends up getting collapsed on and killed super quickly. And then even though Ricky finds a big heal and a kill on Denethor, it's not enough to kill Mobility. The game is still anyone's. Everyone can take this game if they are better positioned and better and more ready for it. But this is such a nice comeback potential for Winthrop. The game is so good.
This game is fantastic, TDS, and I'm so glad we're getting to cover it, but this series is not over yet. You just mentioned the gold lead is about dead even. It's a 500 gold difference. We're 25 minutes into the game, and finally Mobility had his moment, but he's got to do it again.
He's got to do it again, and it can work. It can happen. Like, he's 11-1. It would be weird to say that he cannot make it happen, but with how the game has been going, the very little difference in terms of gold, and the fact that crucial members are hitting big power spikes, Mobility maybe. Oh wait,
Ricky could find himself in trouble. Stunned up, healing up. Now caught in the ultimatum. Stunned once again. Stunned again. Trying to keep him down, and they do. Denethor able to snag that kill, and the push is on the turret.
Yeah, getting CC to that is not the best choice there for Ricky, and with that kill, once again they are putting so much pressure really well here onto the side lane, and there's not a good answer for the side of St. Clair. I feel like you should just send Bakery Boy to respond to that. Just put him on wait clear duty, have Ricky be with the rest of the team, and then that way you dissuade any sort of extra temp. But really nice side lane play, Winthrop collecting a bit more gold, and also getting another kill onto Ricky.
And you mentioned Bakery Boy, he's strong, right? It was a little surprising. St. Clair sent a couple of members top to maybe make a play on the Sword. So they didn't have the numbers to be able to help out Ricky. That turret going over to Denethor is huge. He's on 4 items. He's starting to get really oppressive. He is ahead of Ricky by quite a bit.
Yeah, that really could be just Denethor being able to blow every turret. Not really the difference between Ricky, but more so the difference to take down turrets. He melts turrets with this. Like, he's going to be really quick to take them down. With no teleport though, there's a bit more hesitance to send him to the sideline to try and contest like this. But at the very least, when the teleport's up, that's going to be a tough decision for St. Clair to try and follow up on.
Winthrop's nemesis, the Baron, has respawned. They lost the last one, and if they had taken it, they could have done so much more. And we'll see the dance begin once again. Maddie, charging forward, will cancel it out, forcing Winthrop back into their jungle.
They think that they can move forward there, and they are going aggressive. They see Denethor in the top side, and that's why they feel like they have the chance much better than them. But it's still a scary affair. Like, one misstep here, it's close to 30 minutes. One misstep could be the end of the game for either side.
Denethor's teleport just about to come back up, but he still has no flash for this fight. Keep an eye on that. Mobility, all summoners available. Same for Sword. These are the key members that Winthrop needs to keep alive as they're going to pull the Baron.
They are not going forward. Baron already started. There is flash for Maddie, but it's really, really low.
They destroy it. They rip that Baron to pieces. Ricky in trouble. Suppression goes out. Rockboom ultimate trying to stay alive.
Look at
the
the
Falling
damage
Star does a lot, but Rockboom's still alive. So is Mobility. So is Denethor. But Bakery Boy is full HP, and he's got plenty of rockets, and he's ready to use them. Winthrop has to run scared. They've already lost one member. It's a 4v4, and look at Wakao. He's trying to buy time for the rest of his team to get away. He realized that his goose is cooked. 07 salute to you.
It's a fair trade, but the soul is open. Wakao is down, and this should be a free dragon, although another dragon is coming down.
Rockboom's in trouble. Rockboom's in trouble. He's left all alone. The teleport is there. Rockboom! Rockboom! He's gone. Boom! Sword gets it done. And no soul for St. Clair.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't realize this could be a reality for Rockboom, and just like that, they did kill the AD carry. Baron buff is still active in 3 members, and one of them is Denethor, so he can actually push the issue onto multiple members. Really big mistake there by Rockboom, and now the Baron buff can be scary. Mobility still alive. They are going to push the bot lane, and could be a difficult affair for St. Clair to try and stop this from coming through.
Mobility only losing his cleanse in the last fight, still with that flash available. Will be a very scary champion to try and contest against. You see a large push coming through in the mid lane. Finally, Denethor will come through to crunch this turret as Winthrop continue their vice grip here in Game 4.
They really want to continue it, and here it's going to be difficult with null Rockboom now spawning here, but they have the big way to just push a lot of the champions with the Aurelion Soul E to try and just push them away, but then also now with the Corki a little bit more weight here can be more effective. There is a good ward there. That ward gives them so much information here to know where maybe Winthrop is.
Yeah, keep in mind that this Kai'Sa build is the AD Kai'Sa build, so you're not getting as much poke coming out from these Ws, and all of a sudden you take a look, the siege is not super strong for Winthrop.
Yeah, the poking Kai'Sa could make a difference. Obviously this from the Aurelion Soul can be a difference maker, but the fact that you're not as scared about the minions pushing in, because you will have ways to deal with the minions as with the Saya and the Corki, and then the Kai'Sa W poke is not going to be as big, then you don't worry about it that much. The big worry is going to come when we go into team fights. When there's an objective in place and they are able to get the first move onto St. Clair, that's where this build from the Kai'Sa is going to have a big impact.
Genji Baron buff going to fall off very shortly. So Winthrop got as much as they could out of it. Now just need to break the base of St. Clair. So close to a Game 5 they can almost taste it. But it does mean they have to win another team fight. And St. Clair has not given up an inch.
And the problem with it being this late in the game is that they can win the game with one team fight, but so can St. Clair. It's the scary part, right? When we reach this sort of late game situation, any fight that you win or lose could be game defining.
It could even be series defining at this point, TDS. St. Clair makes a critical mistake and you're all of a sudden in Game 5. Winthrop's got to be feeling good. And if Winthrop make a mistake, they're sent to the lower bracket where already there are a couple of heater teams down there.
Yeah, the surprise can come through much quicker than we were expecting, and here it's going to be an interesting attempt at seeing who's going to fall down to the lower bracket and who's going to stay here in the upper bracket. But this series has delivered so far. Even if it doesn't go to 5 games, I'm glad that it's been this chaotic and this action-packed.
It absolutely has delivered. And you know who else has delivered it a couple times this game? It's been Bakery Boy. And they need him one more time. If St. Clair get a good fight with a fantastic package out of Bakery Boy, they're right back in this game. And all of a sudden, they're looking at a series victory. You can see the teams just posturing around a little bit. But TDS, I have a feeling we're not going to see a fight for another minute and 30 seconds once these objectives are coming up. And if you're St. Clair, you cannot walk into this Winthrop team.
Yeah, there's no need at this point. You don't need to throw the game for nothing currently. Like, there's no objective to fight for. There's nothing to really force for. You just wait for the next objective and try and play out the game after that. I am waiting to see, though, what they are going to do with the package. Do they play it for Baron or do they play it for the Dragon? It's going to be really close, but the difference in timing can be an important difference maker for both teams. Bakery Boy is actually going to elect it now.
Yeah. I think that if you are Bakery Boy and the side of St. Clair, when he picks this package up, you do not care what objective you fight for. You just fight over any of them. You have to run at them and do something. quick footnote, mobility, full items, got that Bloodthirster for last. He is not getting any stronger.
Yeah, this is the best point to be as mobility, and there's still a little bit of difference with Rockboom. Rockboom only having 3.5, where mobility has 4. 6, sorry. Obviously, this has to be the point of the game where Winthrop can win, and I'm honestly thinking Clair should never fight for this dragon. Like, they don't have vision, they don't have control, and they already have 3 themselves. So they should just focus on the Baron buff, and they are doing just that perfectly.
Clair making sure to clear out that top side. Dragon up in 15 seconds. Baron up in 25 seconds.
Both teams
TDS,
burned.
this is awesome.
Yeah, it's a nail biter, and whoever makes it happen here can win the game. Maddie has to be careful here. Already package picked up by Bakery Boy, and this could be the moment where what we're expecting on. The moment to end the game, the fight that can bring it all down. Mobility doing the dragon by himself.
Yep, he's able to just rip this without a problem. It's 3 dragons apiece. St. Clair could not answer. Bakery Boy, he does have that package ready to go and ready to rip.
Waiting on the side, it's only Rockman and Maddie hitting the Baron buff. Oh wait, is it?
He has to package the Baron. There just wasn't enough time left on it. Denethor on the side on the Miracle Sword has an ultimate that is ready to drop. There's the Baron. There's some suppression. Denethor and Mobility are so healthy. Mobility trying to do his thing. He's trying to survive. Wakao is low. To the back line. Mobility is still full HP. Blowing everybody up. Ricky trying to stay alive. Front line, Wakao and Chookies. Denethor and Mobility. Maddie half HP. Maddie is 0 HP. Bakery Boy the next target. He's forced to flash away. Chookies trying to stay alive, but he will fall. It's now Ricky who gets tagged. They're going in. The apprehend, but he goes down. Bakery Boy's the only man standing.
Yeah, but here Denethor is going to go in once again, and they can go for the kill. Yeah, they get it. It's game.
Boom! They blow him up. They have a wave in the bottom lane. TDS, I think the death timers are too long for St. Clair.
And huge from mobility there, stepping up when needed because he baited the full-blown pushback from Rockboom. What a weird fight it was. It could have been perfectly timed for St. Clair there to turn everything around, but I think multiple members collapsing too heavily on the Aurelion Soul, not realizing that both Denethor and mobility were on the back. Wait,
their timers on waves.
It's not game.
Yeah, the timers on waves are a little bit mismatched, TDS, so Winthrop could not finish the game without fear of losing everything. No Baron for them was key. Maddie made a huge play there to secure it for his squad. And Winthrop has to do it again, although that base is open.
But you know what's the big thing here now, Yanni, is that the game didn't end with that push. There is no Baron buff and no Dragon for the next 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure there's no one with Baron buff here. Now there's time for Rockman to get 6 items. And now the game turns a little bit because now mobility is not as special anymore. And I mean that in the way that he's not 6 items. He's not going to be the only champion with 6 items anymore. This could be a turnaround potential for St. Clair. The ball is still on Winthrop, by the way, don't get me wrong. They have Denethor pushing on the side, they have Sword is still scaling, and they have mobility really strong. But when the timing is like this, when the game still is not over and Rockboom is 1 item away from mobility, the game can now completely turn on its head because Saya is a really strong 6 item carry.
Absolutely, and Rockboom has been doing as much as he can. You're not going to see it reflected on the stat sheet, but you see it in those fights. All of the damage that he's able to put down, dropping his Featherstorm, getting the recall on the blade caller, has been doing so much. Winthrop has no Sky's Descent for Sword quite yet. That is something to be aware of.
Yeah. You don't want to try and force it without having that huge Aurelion Soul ultimate. And with the waves they sink like this, they are not going to be even able to take down the inhibitor in the bot lane. Also, one thing that I always like to bring up with the inhibitors is that if you're going to lose one, the best inhibitor to lose is mid lane. Because it's the center of the map, so you're anyway going to be there.
Absolutely right, TDS. 1 minute and 30 seconds until the 7th dragon of the game is up. I'd imagine that St. Clair is more than content to hold out for a fight until that one comes up. But you have to think a Chemtech Soul would be big for either team.
It's quite nice to have the poke though from the Corki.
It's big.
It's beginning to be felt, yep. Now with 6 items, we didn't talk about this, but it's Corki with 6 items. That poke, if you connect, it's going to hit and it's going to hurt heavily.
Yeah, you already
Oh,
see better poke.
Gage.
Here's the fight. Where's mobility? Where's Denethor? Falling Star. Ricky taking a lot of damage. Miracle in the middle. Ricky trying to heal up. Chokis goes down. Huge suppression. Mobility is still alive, but he's running scared. Denethor's got to get out of there. Ricky LaFleur is on the run, and he slams him down. A shutdown for Rock Boom, and St. Clair get the job done.
That was a 4-man impale. I'm pretty sure that was so big by Maddie. Crucial in that fight. No Sky's Descent. No way to flash away from ability. Ultimate was used to reposition as well. But so more than likely going in favor of the side of St. Clair with this timings. And Denethor couldn't even push to end the game. Huge team fight for the side of St. Clair. And just like that, once again, this game is anyone's. Nobody's a clear favorite. And I love this series so much.
Man, this has been, what a game. What a game. We're nearing 40 minutes TDS, and we could still have another game of League of Legends on the docket between these two teams. St. Clair College showing gusto, showing grit, showing that they are deservedly a top 8 team, and showing maybe that there's something a little more.
There may be a little more, and the next challenge may be coming sooner than they are expecting, but for now, Winthrop is still alive here. St. Clair is trying to do everything to close out this game, and Baron is up in 1 minute, so we have another chance for a fight. Can we quickly see how much is Aurelion taking from the ultimate? Because that is a big difference for a future fight, having that upgraded ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to hit some better ultimates. That last Sky's Descent was pretty okay, but it needed to be better. Ricky is in the middle of almost everybody. They're trying to make a play. Big double apprehend. We've seen this before out of Ricky LaFleur. Chokis is caught. Chokis is down. Ricky LaFleur makes a big play.
Yeah, he goes in, gets the kill into Chokis. That's 40 seconds without support with 30 seconds for Baron Ball, but Denethor is taking this chance as best as he can. He's going to go for the base, and I really like this. Thread the base because you have teleport. Ricky cannot follow up on the teleport, and if they go for Baron, guess what? Denethor does have that advantage. In a 1v1 though, I'm not sure who wins, if I'm honest.
It has to be Denethor. If you are a side of Winthrop, you have to have Denethor, Bakery Boy from the side, trying to keep Winthrop away. Teleport coming in from Denethor because Ricky has to deal with the bottom lane. This is a 4v4. Look at what's going on up here. Denethor flying in on top of Bakery Boy. Bakery Boy in the 1v1 goes down. Rock Boom is alone with Denethor and mobility. Down he goes. He's resurrecting. Maddie trying to keep mobility away, but mobility stands tall. Winthrop University win the fight.
Mobility did die though. Ricky is here. He can actually heal the 2 members.
Ricky.
Oh, he failed.
Sword is here.
Denethor.
Denethor trying to heal up just a little bit more. They have to take down Ricky. They have to find a way. Full bleed stacks. Sword teleporting to the bottom side. He said, I'm trying to end the game. In the base is Denethor on top of Ricky. Popping the Sterix. Ricky trying to sustain. The last bastion for St. Clair has fallen. And Winthrop University with a large minion wave and 4 members strong will take us to Silver Scrapes.
It's gonna be a game 5. The decision there, and this is why you value teleport so much in this game. Who cares if you can kill if you're never there to kill? Denethor takes advantage of that, Winthrop takes advantage of that, and we're going to a game 5. It's all on this now. Winthrop pulling it back. I'm on the right track now. St. Clair needs to pull it off so that I can look smarter because the 3-2 is on the line, but for any team now.
I don't really have any words. All of my neurons are firing at once, and all of them are like, I love League of Legends, man. What a game. What a series. Oh my goodness. TDS, wow. Denethor just said I'm him this game and just absolutely made it happen. Mobility had a fantastic last fight.
Mobility as well, yep.
And now we have a game 5 after St. Clair winning the first 2 in very, very strong manner and very little dramatics. All of a sudden, this game 4 has just had everything, man. And this series has had everything. Yep. It's got 5 games. It's got Silver Scrapes. Man, TDS, what's going to happen?
I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that we have one more game. I do know that any team can take it because even with St. Clair losing that game, they almost came back perfectly on it. They had so many good instances, but the Winthrop, the thropping was way too strong at that point, and they were able to turn to just close it out. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen here. Crucial for both teams, though. Strong carries for their AD carries are crucial, and also Denethor on a split pushing potential champion. Every time he's on a champion that can actually deal damage in the side lane, Winthrop have the advantage. And as long as there's no teleport on St. Clair, then they can do everything they want.
Yeah, they're going to need to do everything they can this game, and they're going to have to change up the ban strategy, right? As you mentioned, you have to just focus down Denethor at this point, right? Let everybody else have whatever they want because that guy is the guy that is going to push Winthrop to victory. TDS. I mean, this is awesome. This series is just really awesome. I'm at a loss
Yep.
for words, TDS, which means it's
Yep.
time to take a break. And when we return, the final draft of this series, St. Clair College, Winthrop University, to move on to the winner's bracket. We'll see you soon.